I was shocked to see in the music news today that a long lost song by Jani Lane of Warrant had been discovered and finished. And the songwriter that finished it, Giancarlo Floridia, is here to talk about it next with my buddy Patrick on the Hair Metal Guru.
The Hair Metal Guru from Warrant to Crew. The Hair Metal Guru. Never forget Charlie too.
Welcome to the Hair Metal Guru. My name is Anthony. They call me the Guru, and holy shit, Patrick is here, and we have a special guest, Giancarlo Floridia, who writes songs for Frontiers Records. And he pops up in my news today that this new Jani Lane song that he finished with Jerry Dixon of Warrant, and I don't know all the details, but we are friends on Facebook, so I hopped on and I said, man, I would love to have you come on and talk about this song. So first of all, Giancarlo Floridia, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. This was a rock and roll thing where we just do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So hey, so
Is this okay? Is it okay that I have this here?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna let the audience know that next week we are going to do an interview about your career and all the stuff that you do for Frontiers. You've been writing a ton of songs for on the label, so we are going to Giant, Lynch Mob, all that stuff. So we're going to talk about that. But today is I everybody on the channel know, everybody who watches the channel knows that both Patrick is writing a book about Jani Lane.
Wow.
And I am a massive fan. We've done multiple videos on Jani Lane and Warrant. So Patrick and I were going to talk about this news story, and when the opportunity came to have you on, I jumped at it. So why don't and I'm going to stop now. Why don't you tell us how this opportunity came about that for you to finish this Jani Lane song?
It's like in steps. I met Jani in 1998. I don't know if you're able to flash the photo up. It's on my Facebook.
It will be right here, that photo.
Yeah, I could drop it in there.
Yep.
And I met Jani like on a solo tour. He would play Orange County and LA, like just with his solo band, and do little club shows, and we just hit it off like bros. Like I'd show up early, we'd hang out, and I was a kid, but I was a huge fan as a writer and watching on MTV as a kid because I grew up in the 80s, which is how I write for a lot of these guys, because I would just ride my bike home and study these guys. So Jani became my good buddy and always looked out for me, strange enough. He had his problems, but he just always looked out for me. He'd call me on the phone, get me motivated. So it's pretty wild how this happened. So a few weeks before he passed away, he did a song called Sin for Liberty and Justice.
That's right.
I'm on that album, the song next to it. It was a song called Broken Bones. I just kind of went in there and bashed it out. So I'm actually the song next to his final song on the album. And strange enough, Justin Murr, who ran Liberty and Justice, passed away. Strange enough. So Justin had made a post after Jani had passed away saying, hey, I need some help with something, with some artwork or something. So I reached out to Justin and I said, what's going on? He's like, we're going to go ahead and release the Jani song like next week. I'm like, what? And he's like, we need help with the cover. And I go, dude, I was in college at the time. And I said, I talked to one of my coworkers in the art department here in Huntington Beach at Golden West College. Said, we can get it done. So me and my buddy David got it done. And it was surreal sitting next to him on the computer, and it has the blood with the roses coming out and it says Liberty and Justice. Yeah, I can post it. So I did that cover, and I held a lot of guilt because I'm here in Huntington Beach and still am. He was at Redondo Beach, and I always just felt like he'd be all right. Like I saw some of the stuff on the news where he hit a parked car and stuff, and I'm like, he's Jani, he's gonna be all right. So it really hit me hard when he passed. A part of me was like, really hard. But the last thing I ever said to him was we were at a show in Vegas, and I grabbed him and I go, bro, every night I pray for you. And he looks right up at me. He goes, bro, thank you for that. That's the last thing I ever said to Jani. So it was weird how that fell into my lap immediately.
Yeah.
Then during his passing, I became friends with his wife, Kimberly Nash Lane.
Yep.
And we talked a lot. She was here in Redondo still. And I helped guide her through the situation because she carried a lot of guilt. Maybe she could have done something differently that night. I won't get into the whole story of what happened that night. I know the whole story, okay?
Yep.
Like literally. So she felt like, what if Jani would have stayed home that night?
Yep.
Could she have saved him? And she carried that for a long time. So, anyways, fast forward, because I had my own band, Faith Sedge. I had a deal in Europe, in Japan. It was me and Tim from Striper and some other guys. And I always wanted to be with Frontiers Music, always. So maybe this was, I got to look at the dates, but 3 or 4 years ago. Frontiers, I had built up enough of a reputation as a writer and as a singer where Frontiers actually reached out to me. And Alessandro Del Vecchio was like, look, we want you with Frontiers, but what do you think about songwriting for us? I'm like, songwriting? I'm just a singer, songwriter, singer, but I can't imagine writing for other people. But if this is my break to Frontiers Music, let's do it because it's my favorite label. And so the day he asked me, he said, write us one song. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm like for who? They're like, just show us what you would bring to the label. So I actually sat in this room, opened my laptop, and it says in an article, Kimberly Nash Lane dead in car accident. And I was just like floored emotionally, like what a day for this to happen. So when Kim died, I'm like, I have to write about this in the song. So I wrote a song for James Durbin, Robert Sweet, Perry Richardson, and Mike Flynn from Riot called The Pain of Goodbye. But I didn't know it was them. I just wrote it from top to bottom, demoed it at my friends. Frontiers was like, this is incredible. You're in. So the song is about, if you listen to the lyrics, about Jani kind of finding this girl and love. They finally find each other, and then me processing them both being gone.
Yeah.
And that's the song. And then that song launched my career at Frontiers because that album cracked the Billboard charts. Michael Sweet heard The Pain of Goodbye, which led to me writing for Sweet and Lynch and Michael Sweet Soul Driver and Lynch Mob. It just, everything you hear on Frontiers is because of that one song.
Yeah.
So that's what started this. Okay. So that's kind of my history with Jani and my songwriting deal because of Jani and Kim.
Okay.
Is that a good start? Should I stop? You want to take a moment, or you want to continue?
That's a great start. So you start working for Frontiers.
Yes.
And then okay, how? And then you said that you met Jerry. How did you end up meeting Jerry Dixon?
Okay, so the NAMM convention this year, just a few months ago, I played a special jam. It was me, Todd Howarth from Fraley's Comet, Howie from Winger. It was a bunch of guys. So when we were done playing, I walked down the area of the convention center. I don't know if you've ever been to NAMM, but there's booths. We played a special event. Robbie Lochner was with me, Matt Fuller from Puddle of Mud. It was awesome. Yeah. So I'm talking with Todd Howarth from Fraley's Comet down the aisle. Talk about timing. I'm talking with Todd like directly, and from the side of my eye, about 20 feet away, I see Jerry Dixon getting like a sandwich or something. And I'm like, no freaking way.
Right.
And I tell Todd Howarth, I go, Todd, I have to go. It's Jerry. I met Jerry once when I was 18 back at his show. That's it. I haven't seen him since, which gets even weirder in a minute. I walk up to Jerry and I go, dude, I need 5 minutes. Will you give me 5 minutes of your time? I'm a songwriter at Frontiers Music, and I show him my Jani Lane tattoo. I have a Jani Lane dragon right here.
Okay.
That's how much I love Jani. And has his initials because Jani liked dragons.
Yeah.
Remember he had him. So I got his initials, and anyways.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh man, that's so cool. I got to take a picture of that." So I said, "Look, I just wanted to thank you. And I do write for Frontiers. I'd like to send you some of my stuff."
Sure.
And we talked for 5 minutes just about Jani, actually, and how
Yep.
much he misses him and how I miss him. I'm like, oh. So he gave me his phone number, but he didn't log it into his phone. And I just hit him up like once or twice. "Here's some stuff I wrote. Be in touch." So a month later, okay, there was the Rainbow Bash Backyard Bar and Grill party. I Something inside me said show up early. I don't know what. So I go to the Viper Room, and I was walking, and it was like 3 in the afternoon or in the day. I'm walking across the street to the Whiskey A Go Go, okay, from the Viper Room. Coming this way, right under the Whiskey A Go Go sign, Jerry Dixon. Now, I haven't seen him once in what, 20 years? And all of a sudden I see him. We're like, what? What is, he's like, "This is a Jani thing. He's like, "Is that your number, that 714 number?" I go, "Yes, it's me." He goes, "I'm logging it in right now."
Okay.
So we hung out the entire, I have pictures of it too, I think, entire bash, and hung out. And then I sent him more stuff. I sent him the new Giant single called "The Night to Remember."
Yep.
I sent him "The Pain of Goodbye." And then he reached out to me and said, "Look, I have this song that Jani never completed that I did with him. I think you're the guy that's going to finish it." I was just like, "Don't mess with me like that. Don't do that."
Right.
Because he knows how special that would be to me. He's like, "No, I'm serious." Most of the stuff he said is already out there. He didn't like write additional songs just for the sake of it. So he's like, "I just know you're the guy that's going to get it done." And I just blew it off. Like, I told a couple of my friends I tried not to go there. And then sure enough, a week later, he's like, "Here it is." And I was just blown away with it. It was very surreal. Jani left a title called "The 12th of Never."
Okay.
And I said, "What's that title about?" He said, "Well, Jani didn't like co-writing with anybody." I say, "Let's write more, Jani. 12th of Never, 12th of Never," Jani would tell him, 12th of Never. And so I looked up 12th of Never. And there's a song from like the 60s called 12th of Never, which means like eternally, a date that's not here.
Okay.
And I drove back down to Hollywood. I'm like, if I'm going to do this Jani song, I'm going to do this at the Rainbow Bar and Grill. So I sat at a table at the Rainbow Bar and Grill, and the whole song came to me in less than an hour. All the lyrics, all the melody, everything. Went back in my car. Yeah.
Can you tell me? So 12th of Never, you have a title.
That's the title that Jani left.
That's the title that Jani left. What was in the music? I mean, was it
It was a treasure map. I mean, Jerry and Jani had this song done. Like, all the music was there. All the riffs were there. I mean,
drums
I was
and
like,
everything?
this is easy.
Drums
No
and
lyrics. That's where I came in. That's why Jerry was like, "I know you're the guy," probably because I could sing and come up with all the concepts and do multiple melodies. I could layer stack vocals.
Yep.
So Jani did not leave any melody parts for it. But there were some things I heard in my head that needed to be added.
Yeah.
Like Jani's classic, or "I Saw Red," like he would finger pick on Blind Faith, or Andy Warhol Was Right.
Yep.
It needed that on top of Jani's guitars.
Yep.
I just heard it, and then I called my friend David Julian and said, "Look, David, let's do this." And David's all in. I mean, him and I write all this stuff together for Frontiers. So we went in. David removed all the original program drums that Jerry and Jani had.
Okay.
And we updated them because this song is dated December of 07, Christmas of 07. So we went in, removed the original program drums. David reformatted them. And I wanted the song to sound like the 3 first Warrant albums. My favorite album is Dog Eat Dog. Quicksand and April 2031, Andy Warhol Was Right. That's my favorite album by them. So we went back in with new drums that kind of lifted the song, added the Jani Lane type acoustic. Jerry had some lyric ideas too that I looked at, but when I presented it all to Jerry, he was like, "Oh my God, this is it." So added symphonies like there's a song called Bonfire off Dog Eat Dog where it has do 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 do. We added the classic Warrant elements of the first three albums. And I showed it to Jerry, and I went to his place. We made a few changes, a few lyric flips here and there. He was like, "This is it." He's like, "This is it." And I guess, knocked out of the part with David, and Jerry loved it, and it's done. It's finished. Finished. The demo's done. It's already been approved by Frontiers Music for release. So we're just trying to make sure it goes to the right person on the label. It's going to be special. The songs, I think, are my favorite 3 songs I've ever worked on.
Did you record it with your vocals?
Yeah. Yep. So I got back in my car. I walked out of the Rainbow right on Sunset Strip across from the Roxy. I parked. There's some parking there. Put on my headphones. I have a portable studio. When I wrote The Last Lynch Mob, I created a portable studio because I would come up with ideas at 5 a.m. Can't sing right here. Everybody go crazy. So I get in my car and sing. So I just went in my car and sang the whole song on Sunset Boulevard. And everybody loved it. So yeah, it's all me singing.
Okay.
So what will have to happen is when we decide who's going to use it, we already talked to Nathan James. I just wrote 6 songs on his new album, but he already recorded it. We were like right there to get him to do it, but there just wasn't enough time. He's amazing. I don't know if you've heard him. He's doing a second solo album, so maybe we'll do it with that. But we'll find the right person. It'll be on a worldwide release for Frontiers. Aldo, the A&R Frontiers, just everybody loves the song. It's a very special song. So yeah, it's me all on the top line.
Go ahead, Patrick.
This won't be coming out as a Warrant song. This will be coming out for a featured artist, correct?
Correct. Unless something changes, you never know.
Yeah.
I can't get into the Warrant side of it. That's Jerry's business.
Sure.
Don't ever say never. But Jani had... Okay. Jani's tone is similar. My like I do that at the beginning of the song. Ooh, like that mid. Robert Mason is more, like when I write with Lynch Mob, Gabriel is very similar to Robert Mason, where Jani had that mid tone. So I just feel that a mid-tone singer, I think, would bring this up. Robert Mason, I'm sure, would do a great job too. So,
Sure.
But for me, my ear, I'm hearing something with a mid-tone. Maybe Michael Sweet. I've worked with him on 2 albums.
Yep.
Maybe Robbie McCauley. I mean, somebody with that mid-range, I just think would be beautiful. So we have to make the decision here shortly. So that's what's coming next. But the song has been approved by Aldo at Frontiers. I mean, it's an undeniable song. It's beautiful.
You said this when we were chatting on Facebook. You said it's like a ballad, but it rocks. It's kind of like The Bitter Pill.
Yes.
So, okay. And then I wanted, and you can elaborate on that if you want, but I also wanted, you said, so we talked about the title, 12th of Never. Jani had the title. What was your lyrical inspiration for finishing it? What kind of message are you getting across with these lyrics?
It sounds like The Bitter Pill meets Heaven, meets Blind Faith, meets Sometimes She Cries. It's like a rock power ballad, but it has some prog elements that I added that just came to me. Oh, Jani would have done this. Jani would have done that, which is weird. I don't know if you believe in the spirit realm, but that week of my life where we pieced the rest of it together, I felt like he was with me. I know that's pretty far out, because the day it got approved and completed, I had a sense of sadness. Like, when you go visit a family member and then you go home the day after Christmas and you miss them? Yeah. I felt that the day when everybody approved the song, the following day I felt like, man, something's missing from my life. So I don't know if he came down to help me and went back up. I don't know. This isn't by chance. Okay, this is some strange timing and alignment, because I had seen an interview just a few months ago where he mentioned about the song, and then all of a sudden I come into Jerry's life. It's not by chance. So the inspiration, you're gonna laugh, it just came to me. Like, I got this thing. This thing has been sitting since December of '07, and I got it done in an hour.
Sure.
It's just like something opened up between here and the sky, and I just heard the whole thing in my head. Lyrically, I wanted to put out lyrics. People have this tendency to look at Jani's life. Well, he this, and he was drinking, and he was blah, blah, blah. I know the real Jani, and that Jani Lane, yeah, he did drink and he did do this and he did that, but that guy would never hurt anybody.
Right.
You know, I have my own view on why he did that. I won't get into it. You can look up online some other possibilities of things that happened to him in the music business.
Yep.
He was a wonderful person.
Yep.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I wanted to present that to people. I wanted to present that Jani we knew and loved, that changed lives through music. He changed my life. And it comes through the lyrics. It's very trippy, but a quick answer to that is, and people are going to hate me for this, I didn't even try. It just came to me. It just, I didn't even have to try. I mean, it only took me an hour. I just heard everything. I heard, it was an amazing experience. So
it sounds like this. Are the lyrics in a way your tribute to Jani, or was that not going through your head? Were you trying to write something for him or through him?
I feel like he was speaking to me.
Okay.
I feel like he was speaking to the fans, like, hey, I love you guys. I have all these memories of us. There's a little tribute to Kim in there that I put. You know, it's like a summary of his life. And when, like I said, 12th of November, that's a date that means forever. It's eternal. And I think in a sense, Jani's writing is always going to be eternal. So it just, it's just the beautiful side of everything he did. There's nothing like sad about it. The chorus says, I'll be your song that never ends, and my love for you will never die. I mean, that's the hook. That's everything I think about Jani. You think of him as a songwriter. Maybe it was his way of saying, hey guys, I'm always here through my music and I'll always love you. I mean, just talking about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what the chorus says. I'll be your song that never ends. My love for you will never die. That's the type of song it is. So I think it was his way of saying, guys, I still love you guys. He just used me for whatever reason. I'm just some Italian kid from South Bay that likes writing songs.
Have you had
I
the
don't know why he picked me
opportunity?
to do it.
Have you had the opportunity to play it for any of his family or his children?
No.
Oh.
Only a few people have heard it. Myself, David Julian. I showed it to my kids. Somebody else has heard it. I'm not gonna say who is. Somebody else has heard it.
Sure.
Everybody loves it.
That's great.
So all the response has just been like incredible. But at the same time, people are like, I'm not surprised you got it done so quickly. I'm like, I guess.
This must have been written, if Jani and Jerry were doing it together, it must have been when they were getting ready for the 2008 reunion.
That's right. So my guess is this was for Warrant.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if you look at the timeline, yeah.
Because
Jani had said
they
at
got
that
back
time,
together in 2008, and it ended soon after. But there was talk of writing, of putting out a new album. So I'm assuming this was for
Maybe this is what it was for. That's what I'm guessing, because it says Christmas of '07.
And
And
you said earlier that you don't presume to be able to speak for Jerry. I'm not asking you to speak for Jerry, but do you have any thoughts on why he brought it to you and not to Warrant?
that's a good damn question.
And Maybe.
That's a very good question. He just heard my work and he called me, says, "You're the guy. I just have this feeling. You're the guy that's going to get it done." And I said, "Me and my partner at Frontiers, David, we can get this where it needs to be, you know?" And Jerry had that feeling. That's a good question with Warrant.
Yeah.
My writing style, if you go listen to anything I've done, like, you know, Sweet and Lynch and all these different things that I've done, or the new Lynch Mob that came out, you know, I add a certain hook value, I think, to it. And maybe Jerry heard that in the songs. That's a good question for Jerry,
Sure.
actually. He just said, "I have a feeling you're going to be able to get this done. You're the guy." He was right.
Okay. Patrick, is there anything else you want to ask before we wrap
Uh,
this up?
I'd be curious. I heard you say a couple artists who have records coming out that this could get placed with. If you were the one with the ultimate say of where it went, where would you like it to go?
I would like Nathan James to sing it from Trans-Siberian Orchestra and
Yes.
Inglorious. And I tried to get it on that new record. He just finished. He was in Italy recording the vocals. He's heard the song and he's like, "I want to do this." I don't know if you've heard his voice.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God, he would knock this out of the park. So if he does another album, which I can't talk about his contracts, but there's a possibility. But the thing is, with that, it would be a little bit of a wait.
Sure.
So it's really up to discussion with me and Frontiers.
Yep.
Because Jerry has released it. We'll make sure it gets published through Jani's estate. And we're going to make sure it goes to the right person. But it's got to be on an entire record through Frontiers. You know, like I did a album with Michael Sweet called Soul Driver the other year. Michael would do a great job. You know, I just wrote for Robin McCulley this year. Robin, the song is very universal.
Yeah.
So, you know, one of those songs like, let's say, Summer of '69, or let's say Heaven. Anybody can play Heaven, and it's that type of song. So we're not limited on who can do it. It's just got to be the right voice. So as of now, Nathan's my top pick, but you know, sometimes Frontiers has other signings. Jeff Tate is on there. I mean, there's a lot of options here.
And you
Sure.
don't
So
see
we're going to
Frontiers,
discuss that.
you wouldn't see Frontiers releasing it as a standalone single?
No,
No.
no, I don't see that happening unless Warrant decides they want to do it and release it.
Right.
I don't
Okay.
want to get into that
Sure.
too much.
Of course.
That's
Of
not
course.
that's out of my league. I don't need, you know.
Well,
That's up to them. If they want to do it, that would be great too.
yeah.
But as of now, it's going to go to on a Frontiers album.
Okay. Hey, it was great to have you come on and talk about your relationship with Jani Lane. It's
Oh, so emotional. Oh,
right. It sounds like you guys had a close bond,
yes.
and Jerry Dixon obviously felt like you were the right person to bring this song to. I know a ton of people online are talking about this. It was so important that Patrick and I felt like we had to do a story on it tonight. So we're so glad that you could come in and give us the songwriter's perspective on the new Jani Lane song that you helped finish. So
Yeah.
Giancarlo Floridia, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, guys. And guys, Jani was just that amazing. He made it very easy on me. You can't. He was just undeniable. When I got it, I'm like, "Oh, this is awesome." It was like he couldn't have left behind any better song for me to work on.
Right.
It's like everything you love about him. So I can't wait for everybody to hear it. So
Awesome.
yeah, and thank you guys.
Absolutely. And we will be talking next week. So we are going to interview you and we'll talk about your entire career and everything with your songwriting career. But today it was awesome to hear you talk about this new song. Giancarlo Floridia, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Love you guys.
All right, take care, brother.